Welcome back. We're here at Colby-Sawyer College in the Cleveland Library, and joining me now is local author Anne Sarkisian, and she's here to talk about her new book, Toxic Staple. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, this is fascinating. It's taken you 10 years to get this information together. Tell us how you came about that.
Well, my grandson was very healthy at age 2, and by 5 he was very compromised. He was extremely thin, irritable, achy body, everything was, he had 10 or 12 symptoms going on. And through a cousin who had celiac, she suggested a blood test, which his doctor didn't. And we tracked it down, and I started reading, and I couldn't believe the information that was available on this topic. And I just thought people need to know about this, so I guess I'm going to write a book.
Right, so he ended up being gluten intolerant.
He wound up with celiac disease.
He did?
Yes.
Okay.
And there is a difference between celiac and you can be also just gluten intolerant too.
Interesting. Okay, but it's as easy to diagnose as a blood test, it sounds like.
Well, it isn't that easy because most doctors are only giving one blood test. It appears to me that they are setting the bar very high. So by the time you do test positive, you are very compromised.
You're so sick at that point.
And, you know, you have a lot of things going on. So there are really 4 tests, I think, and with the research that I read, that if I were going through this again, I would want those 4 tests.
Right.
But I'm finding out from some people that most people, their doctors don't know about this, and if they request them, which I suggest that they do, the insurance may not cover it. And then there's this fellow that does stool tests that it's very cutting edge, it's very sensitive, and it diagnosed my whole family except for my grandkid.
Wow.
Yeah, we were all negative on the blood tests.
Okay, so it's not always as simple as a test.
It's not very simple to figure this out at all.
Now, how's this changed your life? You obviously follow the gluten-free lifestyle.
Well, I did it empathetically at first with my grandson.
Good grandma.
And all of a sudden, I started feeling better and having more energy. But the main issues, I mean, I had some serious things, semi-serious things going on. The fatigue was big, bronchial issues, urinary tract things. I got reactive airway later in my life, and hay fever was just getting worse as the years went on. And everything is gone. We basically do not get sick. I have great energy for my ripe old age.
Super.
And I wouldn't touch this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really toxic for my family, not for everybody, but a huge number of people.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. How many people does it affect?
Well, they say that celiac disease is about 1% of the population.
Okay.
Of that number, only about 20% of those over the last 10 years or so have been diagnosed. And that says something about the testing and about the unawareness amongst our doctors.
Yes.
But probably 30% are gluten intolerant, according to several doctors.
30% of the population?
30% of the population.
Oh, that's so many people.
Yeah, and that's why everybody that's jumping on this, you know, they're calling it a fad, but guess what? They're feeling better, they have more energy, they lose weight, their headaches go away, their tummy problems go away, the bloating, intestinal stuff, everything gets, well, guess what? You know, you're gluten intolerant.
Wow.
And celiac disease is really a destruction of your villi, the little hairs in your gut.
Yes.
And that's what absorbs all the nutrients and vitamins to keep your body healthy and functioning.
So you will really be sick because you're not getting all that absorption of the vitamins and minerals.
Right. It can affect any part of your body, and it can affect the fetus too. Yeah, it's huge information.
Okay, definitely worth investigating.
And I spell it out in my book in a very big way. My research, I probably have about 700 citations there. It's easy to read. I've tied it in with stories of people's lives turning around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what should we tell our audience member? 3 or 4 things that we can take away from this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you really need to educate yourself. You need to become your own advocate. So you need to read up on this.
Okay.
Number 1. And the second thing is you really need to request some tests. And if those 4 blood tests that I talk about are negative, don't jump for joy.
Yes.
do the stool testing. It's out of pocket. It's the best money I have ever spent.
Right.
And the last thing is, if you're diagnosed with gluten intolerance or celiac disease, you really need to do this 100%. There's no cheating in having a, and a lot of people do, and a lot of restaurants sort of expect that people do, so they put things on the menu and call it gluten-free when it really isn't.
Right. Yeah.
No, but anyway.
So do your homework. So great.
Yeah.
Where can we get your book?
Well, you can get it at Morgan Hill. You can get it at the Hanover bookstore, and in Warner. You can go to my website. It's on Amazon, and it's out as an ebook, and Barnes & Noble. And
great reading for everybody.
Check out my blog.
Excellent. Very good. Well, good. We've got your contact information up on the screen. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Well, thank you so much.
Best wishes.
Thanks.